Hello ENC 91 students, this is Professor Bloomingberg, and the purpose of this video is to give you some specifics about the pre-writing assignment for the narrative essay. And of course this assignment is due in week 3, so note your deadline for the assignment. If you have questions, just email me. First thing I want to let you know is that this is not the essay itself. These are two separate assignments. You've got two deadlines. One is for a pre-writing activity. That's the first deadline, and that's what this video is going to be concerned with. And of course, the rough draft of the actual essay is due after this pre-writing activity at a later date. So please note that. But I'm in Chapter 6. If you have your Write Stuff book, you can follow along. I'm on page 105. And what I want to do is just go through some general pre-writing techniques that you can use to complete this assignment. Of course, the first part of the reading is thinking and talking. That's a good strategy to use. It won't really help you in terms of getting, I don't want to say it won't help you, but it's not going to actually complete the activity. But some of you have been emailing me about potential topics, and that's a good place to start in terms of just trying to figure out an idea or a topic for this paper. And remember that there are sample topics listed on your assignment sheet. By the way, the pre-writing stage of the writing process is the first step. And it's the step where you're really just trying to get ideas for the essay. So it's not writing the actual paper. But the first technique that you will see, well, maybe before we get into techniques, let me give you just some guidelines, and I'll write that up here as such. So guidelines is 1 page for the pre-writing. So it needs to be 1 page, of course, double space with 12-point Times New Roman font. That's pretty standard. We're going to always double space and use 12-point Times New Roman font. The pre-writing activity should be 1 page long, but more so than being a page long, I would really like to stress to you a time limit of 10 minutes. That is to say that when you're working through these strategies, you want to spend 10 minutes on this pre-writing assignment. If you want to do it by hand first on notebook, paper, pen, or pencil, feel free to do that. Sometimes it's best to work this in a spontaneous way, and then you can just transfer it over to a typed document. That's perfectly fine to do. I'm okay with that. Just note that I need the typed document, but any way you want to work through this is fine. But spend 10 minutes, and we'll talk about why as we go through these activities. But that guideline is pretty much always going to be standard for the double-spaced 12-point Times New Roman. If you need to jot this down or see more of it, feel free to back up the video. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. You can back it up and pause it if you want to. But I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to start by discussing free writing, which is just one way that you can complete this assignment. What is free writing? Well, free writing is a strategy where you write in sentence form. It's almost like journaling. And what you do is it's non-stop writing. So you put your topic at the top of your paper, and you write non-stop about it. No such thing as dumb ideas. If you are used to having that inner critic in your head, and I know for myself I have this inner critic that says that's a bad idea, don't do that. You need to silence that critic, because again, you're just getting ideas at this point. Bring it back a little more when you're into the drafting, but for now, just know there's no such thing as a dumb idea. It's non-stop writing, so you keep your pen or pencil moving across the page. I recommend that you set a timer. And again, 10 minutes is what you're aiming for. Write anything that comes to mind about your topic, or even if you don't have a topic, you might start with life experience, because your paper is going to be very much centered on your life experience. And you set your timer. I generally use my cell phone, but you can use any kind of timer you want. I would recommend you do it from the standpoint of counting down from 10 minutes, and then when your buzzer sounds, you stop writing. The point of the activity is that you can tap into your subconscious and oftentimes find things about your topic that you didn't even know you were thinking about. So that's free writing. It's called free because you're not worried about spelling, grammar, or punctuation. There are no dumb ideas. You're just trying to get everything down as quickly as possible. But again, the key here is to not stop writing. If you run out of things to say, you can put, what am I trying to say, but keep writing. The theory is you'll get yourself recentered at some point. So don't stop writing. Only when your buzzer sounds do you stop writing. You'll be surprised at how much you can write in a 10-minute time through free writing. So that is just one method. And again, feel free to pause this, back the video up and pause it. You can pause it at this point if you want. But I'm going to take this stuff out now because that's free writing. I want to cover just a couple of more techniques. And again, you can back up the video if you need to. Brainstorming is the next technique. This is where you create a list of ideas, not sentence form. So not journaling. So that's the difference. You just go through and you create a bulleted list of ideas. 10-minute time limit still applies. This is going to be a standard across the board for the 10 minutes. But you just list, almost like in grocery list fashion, your ideas. And again, there are no dumb ideas. You list them out. When you're done with it, you can go through and see what you have. And again, you'll be surprised at how much you can list in 10 minutes. But you don't want to do it while you're listing. Let it be very spontaneous and let those ideas flow. There's no such thing as a bad idea. And you'll see on page 106 an example. Now I said to bullet them. This is just kind of listing them. It really doesn't matter to me if you want to list them as they appear on 106. Or if you want to bullet them, that's fine. Either way works just fine for me, as long as you understand how the techniques work. Now we've covered free writing, and now we just covered brainstorming. And remember, you're just picking one of these techniques to do for the pre-writing assignment. You don't have to do all three. Again, pause it if you need to jot down these notes. You can pause it now, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them. And I'm going to cover one more technique, and that is clustering, which you'll see on page 107 of the Right Stuff textbook. This is also called webbing. You may see it called webbing at some point. But it's where you create a series of circles, and you can see the visual representation on 107. You have a center circle, which is your topic, or again, if you don't have a topic, just put life experiences in that center cluster or circle. And then from there it branches out so that you can visually see, and you're just branching out any way you want. Any idea that comes to mind, branch off from the middle circle and include that in your cluster. And then branch off further, so that if you look on the book, it says pet adoption in the center circle, and it branches off in 4 ways according to agencies available, unwanted animals, pet overpopulation, and types of pets. So you can branch off in either way, and it continues to branch off from there. It's just a way visually. Some of us are visual learners. And it's just a way visually to see how your ideas are connected. Now I'm going to lower this document, or actually what I'll do is I'll keep it up, but I'm going to pull up a program that you may have at home. I hope you do. If not, you might consider, I'm not by any means a spokesperson for Microsoft, but They have a really good program called PowerPoint that many of you are probably familiar with. And I am going to adjust the camera just a little bit, so it's going to get a little jumpy. Just bear with me. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to do a cluster, because many of you may wonder, how do we get a cluster in typed form? The best way I know to do it is through PowerPoint. And if you look on the top side of your screen, let me see if I can adjust just a little bit. I'm going to be jumpy just a little bit. Bear with me here. And I still don't know that you're going to be able to see the tabs. Well, let me readjust. Sorry. I'm just going to have to kind of talk you through it if you have PowerPoint. But you'll see your home, you'll see File and Home at the top. You'll want to click New Slide and just create a blank slide. When you click New Slide, it gives you options. Just make it blank. Okay. And maybe what I'll do, let me see if I can just adjust the camera so you guys can see this. It's kind of important that you see it. So bear with me. And I'm going to pull back as much as I can here. Need maybe one more prop here. There we go. So over here on New Slide, let me adjust that. If you'll just click the blank one, which is right down here, that's where you can create a blank slide. And then from there over here, let me readjust the camera, you've got some options including some visuals, and again I'm on the home key. Just click the circle there, and then from there you can actually create your web. And you can make it as big as you want it or as small as you want it. You might not want to make it too big, because especially if you're trying to get a lot of ideas in a single page. Once you get it situated, you might just type something like life experiences in that middle one. And then if you go back up here to the box, you can see that there are lines that you can create. So I'm just going to click on it, and you can maneuver the lines any way you need to make them connect. And I just created a line. It's going to be kind of hard to see in the video. I'll move that over so you can see. And then I'm just going to go back and create another circle right here that will, I'll move this down so that you can see it, so that it connects the lines there. And these ideas, you just bring it closer to the line, and voila, it is connected. And then you just branch off, just like this in the book, and you can save it just like any other file. But again, PowerPoint's probably the easiest way to create a cluster. So don't feel like you have to limit yourself to free writing or brainstorming just because you're typing this. There are avenues for you to do clustering as well. I'm going to stop right here, but remember, 10-minute time limit on each one. 1 page is the requirement. Remember the format, and there's a format video in the Start Here option if you need to look at that as well. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have questions, feel free to email me. I'll make more videos in the days and weeks to come. Good luck with the assignment, and take care. Bye-bye.